Did your parents own a restaurant here?
Yes, that's kind of how this whole thing started up. My parents owned Frankie's and Frankie's too. So it's a big staple here in the Colorado Springs. I know lots of people, and I pretty much grew up there. So I've got a lot of the customers. We like to kind of relate it to the show Cheers, if anybody's ever seen that.
Yes, of
Everybody's
course.
your family. We're all friends, and
Norm.
yes, we grow together. We all party together. So, I want to say my parents had the restaurant for 38 years and
Wow.
they retired. And then during that transitioning, that's kind of where my artwork started to unfold. And I decided to make that leap of faith to become a full-time artist.
Yeah, I was
I
going to
was
ask
working
you,
for,
from
yeah.
restaurant to art, that's quite the leap. So I was going to ask you, tell us about your journey, what sparked the change, and, where the biggest hurdles you faced as you were making that transition.
So it was actually really great for me because when I was younger, I was very, very shy, and anybody who knows me today would be like, "Oh my God, what happened to that girl?" But the restaurant brought out so much in me as far as learning how to talk to people, and not just people, all sorts of people, because we all have our different personalities. So my shell kind of just broke open. And when you wait on people, you're basically implanting yourself into every conversation, and you don't know them for night or day. So that was great. I also worked my way up from bussing tables to waitressing to then becoming a manager, and then I became the general manager. And then after that, I decided, whoa, what am I getting myself into? I think I just want to be the bartender and go back to part-time and that, do my artwork also at the same time. It was very insightful. I learned so much as far as the business aspect of it because with my parents owning it, it was all the behind the scenes stuff as well. The counting, the marketing, the advertising, the ordering of food supplies, liquor supplies, payroll, all sorts of stuff. So I think it was great for me because now that I own my own business, I have all this knowledge that I've accumulated over the years that I can now apply to myself and my own business. So, and also getting through the hard times because there was some very difficult times with different presidents and then COVID hit, which having a
Right.
restaurant during COVID was nearly impossible for survival. But once again, going back to Cheers, some of the best people came out during COVID to help keep us going and just stopping by to support the family business. So it was great. Um, Hurdles, I would say, obviously, for me, were when you're a manager, you have to relate to people and talk to people, but also you want to be their friend, but you can't be their friend because there's that fine line of balancing everything. So for me, it was challenging to learn how to do that, but I think overall everybody wanted to work together and accomplish the bigger goal. So it was very hard also. So when my parents decided to sell, I worked for a year and a half with the new owners, and it's now called Red's American Grill, and it's in Falcon. And I hung on for about a year and a half, but I felt the deeper calling of myself and my artwork just was constantly ticking away at me. And also, when I worked for my parents under Frankie's too, I kind of had a personal gallery inside the restaurant. So it was amazing because I talked to Frankie and I said, "Hey, I would love to put my artwork up." And he's like, "Okay, sure, go for it." So he's actually my stepdad. So my
Okay.
mom's an artist, and my mom and my grandmother is also an artist. So they've always been very, very supportive of my artwork. And when I put it in the restaurant, it was nice because the customers would come in and they would feel a sense of home as well. Because
Oh,
the artwork would
nice.
change out, or they would approach me while I was bartending. Renee, I really love this piece that you did this month. Or, hey, do you do dogs? Or do you do this? So I was interacting not only on amongst the restaurant for, the service industry and that, but also with the artwork. So it was a constant thing going for me. And like I said, it was like having a gallery and it was amazing and I loved it. And I would sell pieces through there. So
Oh,
it
nice.
set me up for my future today.
Right. You got to get your feet wet.
Yes, exactly. And I started saving money during that period. So Then my parents sold, like I was saying earlier, and then I was like, I would describe myself as a Christmas ornament on a tree where I would just dangle back and forth, like, all right, are you gonna come out full blown, or are you just gonna make appearances during Christmas, you know? So I had a dream one night, and it was like, okay, can you live with yourself knowing you never pursued your art full time? And I
Right.
woke up and I said, no, absolutely not. All my parents are entrepreneurs. So it was like, you know what? You're going to have difficulties and you're going to find ways to make it happen. And then you're going to have, successful moments. But that calling inside me is there every single day. So I was like, you know what? We're doing this. And I've got a great support system. And I just kind of keep that as my foundation to continue to grow.
Great. That is an amazing lesson just for all of us in our own lives. Is it something we can live with? And even though we may be scared or worried about what other people think, or what if I fail, or something else, what if I succeed? There's fear
Yes.
in that as well, which we don't think. So I love the lessons that you are bringing just in your own life and with your artwork and all that. So now, looking at your art is bursting with color and energy. How would you describe your style to someone who's never seen it? And especially since we are on video, and I don't know if you have any pieces around, but what are some of the things that inspire your vibrant creations?
So I do have a piece behind me. I don't know if you can see it back there,
That one,
but
yeah.
Um, so I'm inspired by actually my life. So I love animals. I'm an energetic person myself. I love music. I love color. I love moving, so I feel like who I am as a person kind of goes into my artwork. And my husband is a, team roper. So we have horses of our own. So we're part of the, country cowboy life. And never would I have thought I married a cowboy, but seeing the horses every day and being a part of a whole different type of community and world just opens up my world even more than what I was brought up with. And um, it's also a place that I can be who I am without judgment and I can express myself creatively. The artwork itself, I would describe it's acrylic and it's mixed media. So when I say mixed media, it involves papers, inks, stamping. So many different things can come into one painting. So when you look at it, you're going to feel the depth and the textures and you're going to get the colors. Um, I think it's almost like a story inside of a story with the image itself, if that makes sense. Like you're going on a little mini
Sure.
journey, kind of.
Right.
I like to be um, free flowing, if that makes sense. I'm somewhat of a realistic person, but also abstract.
Okay.
I kind of combine the two. Um, I like to bring people together too. I just did my first art class at Everyday Girl Adventures a couple weeks ago. So that's a new adventure that I'm going to get
Oh,
into as well, probably like a couple times a
congratulations.
year. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks. It was
How did
fun.
that
And it
go?
was great because it was great. It was obviously those hurdles that we talk about, trying to overcome these and not know I had like six people to start with at first, and then two dropped off, and then I ended up getting up to 11 by the time it was all said and done. So
Oh, wow.
it was like a little roller coaster, but it was a great group of people, and it was like another family, and we all came together. We were painting an Easter bunny, but they were all so different and so unique in their own way, shape, and form. And just seeing people laughing and the energy in the room and it didn't matter who you were, we were just doing this little activity for the day,
Right.
So I had lots of great comments that people had told me it was just nice to get out and be able to talk to other people, and they don't have as many friends or they don't get to do this very often, and the
Right.
environment was welcoming, and all that good stuff. So it made me feel good on a level that, of why my art is so important to me and how it's like my heart and my soul are all shining and everybody gets to get together and we just get to play kind of if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. And actually, didn't you paint a bunny on a bag?
Yes, that's what we did. I figured because Easter was coming up that it would be perfect if they wanted to use them for Easter bags, they could do that as well. So instead of a canvas, it was on a bag itself.
Oh, so a canvas bag though.
Oh no, sorry, it's a paper bag. I'm sorry, a paper
Oh, it's
bag. So it would
paper
open
bag.
up into a
Okay,
paper
gotcha.
bag. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
So
they were so cute. I remember when you took a picture and put it on social media, and I was like, oh my goodness, it was so cute. You don't happen to have one back there, do you?
I can go to the other room if you want.
Sure. I want to see it.
Want me
I
to?
want others to see. It was so cute.
Okay, hold on one second.
All right, we'll do Jeopardy music. Doon 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 doon. Doon 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 doon. Doon, 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 doon. Look, and she came back at the right time.
Sorry. Okay, so here's the bag itself,
Oh my
but it
goodness.
opens up. So I get it. It's a good size bag too.
Yeah, oh my goodness. How cute is that?
Yeah, so I don't know, but this is what I'm talking about. When I say mixed media, you
Right.
can see everything.
Yeah.
It's, it's pens, it's markers, it's stamping, and this one's got, um, what is it, sparkles and all kinds of stuff for the Easter Bunny.